Hey guys, Hillside Gardener here. Um, it is Columbus Day, so I have the day off like many people do. So I figure I'd come out and do a little bit of fishing, but you can't buy views like that. So that's even worth it. Whether you catch a fish or not, just being outside and out in nature, that's what it's all about. So today I want to kind of wrap this around and turn this into a gardening talk. But when you look around the forest, the pond here, the lake, there's fish in the pond. You got wildlife, you got deer, squirrel, turkeys, whatever going on out there in the woods. But there's a natural system about how it all works. So bringing it back to more of like a permaculture type conversation is when you're planning out your gardens or you're doing anything, whether you're just landscaping your backyard. People I think spend too much time focused on production. You know, they want to grow a pepper plant or a tomato because they just want the end product. The only thing they're focused on is that tomato, that pepper, whether they want to grow, beans or they're raising cattle or whatever. It becomes a means to an end. And by that, I mean, you focus way too much on the end product. Instead, focus on creating a system in your garden or your farm or wherever you might be growing, even if it's in just like a balcony or something like that. Think about how the entire system works together, whether it's attracting pollinators, whether it's creating compost, saving seeds, starting seeds indoors or whatever it may or may not be. Think about how everything interacts, how everything just becomes, uh, you know, melded together. I think you will have better results that way. I've been trying to do that in my backyard, just a small little urban plot. But over 5 years I've lived there, I've continuously improved the soil. I've brought in compost. I've made my own compost. I did have a worm castings where I raise the worms there on food scraps and leaves and everything, and it works. And the system is in place. So don't be frustrated whenever you first start off that you're going to get amazing these just huge, amazing, beautiful plants and everything, because it may take a little bit of. I have rock hard red clay. I had almost no topsoil in my backyard. I had to dig rocks out. I've had to bring compost in. Making raised beds is hard work. It's hard bringing all the materials up. But after a while, it starts replenishing itself. If your systems are in place and you have a good compost method, if you're chopping and dropping your weeds, if you're, saving your own seeds and starting them early and things like this, over time you're gonna get a feel for it. Maybe you realize that part of your garden is better suited than another part. Maybe one side holds too much moisture or not enough moisture. Maybe there's too much morning sun or it's too hot in the evening. So you kind of by trial and error, you're gonna figure out where in your garden you should plant things, where you shouldn't plant things. Um, you may realize that hey, the slope over here is a little too steep, so it's kind of like running off the moisture. It's kind of hard to hold the moisture, so you might want to work on creating a raised bed or fixing the grade a little bit or making a terrace system. It doesn't matter, just whatever you may or may not need to do, just to create a better system all around. I mean, we can all grow plants, and it's really not that difficult if you really want to think about it. You go to the farmer's market or to the big box store and you buy a tomato plant that's in a little, you know, for sale package or something like that. You get a container, you fill it full of, store bought compost or potting soil, you pop it in, and despite your best efforts, as long as you water it and don't let it get, dried out or something like that, you're probably going to get something out of it. You're probably going to get a tomato. Maybe you get a 3 or 4 or 5 tomatoes. Maybe you have a great plant. And it does great because you're just loading it up with, synthetic fertilizer. And that could be something that just maybe it's people don't know better, or that's the only way they've ever heard of it, or that's just what they think is, the best method. But I can attest that my first couple of years at the garden, it wasn't fantastic. But if you watched any of my videos, you've seen pepper plants that are 6 feet tall, just absolutely loaded with pods. I had tomatoes so big that, they were legitimately ripping the tomato cages out of the ground. They were growing with so much force. I've grown so many peppers, so many tomatoes. So I just can't give stuff away fast enough because, and this isn't just me trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying that the results can be there without using any kind of synthetic fertilizer if you just kind of do what nature does. You know, everything in nature is recycled. All the leaves that fall in the ground right here are taken back in. Um, the trees are recycling nutrients up into the leaves. The leaves fall onto the ground. Once on the ground, they are then, you know, taken down by the microbes and organisms, things like that in the soil, and that's what lets all the other plants use that to grow. And this just being because it's on the edge of this little small lake here, you know, nutrition is going to cycle down from the woods and everything into the lake, creating even, you know, the full circle of the ecosystem. And then the fish and everything that live in the water are living off of recycled nutrients from the land, and also producing their own due to, you know, other natural forces. But I just wanted to kind of show it in perspective, is that when you think about your garden, think of the entire system. Think about what it could be. I mean, look at nature right here. No one's planted these trees for them. No one fertilizes these guys. No one waters them. But, you know, because the system is in place, this is a thriving, healthy forest. Um, yeah, and your garden and your backyard could be exactly the same, as long as you just try to create a system that works. So hope this helped. I hope it kind of give you guys a little inspiration about what is possible in your backyard, you know. And you guys have a good day. Please subscribe. If you have any comments or any kind of questions, drop them below. Love to hear them. And we'll see you next time back at the Hillside Garden. But I'm signing off from the lake for today, and I'm going to get back to fishing. You guys enjoy your Columbus Day if you have it off. If you have to work, I'm sorry about that, but you know, I'm not going to complain. I'm out on the lake. Catch you guys next time.